What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here. This is Bull Season 1, Episode 4, Callisto. I really like this show. I cannot deny this show has really hooked me. It's got me interested. I love where they're going with it. I love how each and every episode has a little something different to it. You know, they've got these moments where, okay, things look like they're going wrong. It looks like there's no breakthrough. And then, of course, they have that moment where there is the breakthrough. So there is kind of a formula there as far as how the cases go, how the trial runs. But what I like is each trial is different in its own right, because it's not just, okay, so this trial, this happens, this happens, this happens, innocent verdict. This trial, this happens, this happens, this happens, innocent verdict. We got something different this episode. First of all, you've got Bull going to a town in Texas where apparently it's the only place that he never won. He didn't lose, but he didn't win either. So it's kind of a bit of a different feel about it. It feels like he's sort of maybe a little crazy about this, maybe not as confident as he usually is going into it. He's really acting confident, but everybody is looking at him like, dude, you're acting weird, what's wrong? So it's kind of interesting going into this case. Okay, so what's going to happen? You know, this is a localized court. It seems very small, townish, so they really trust their own attorneys there. So the chances of them winning seem very slim. But then all of a sudden, Bull starts talking, and it seems like he knows what he's doing. You know, he has an attorney friend in that town that he's going to have represent their client. So now all of a sudden he's got a plan in motion, and now he's trying to win over the people of the town, and he's got people in place doing stuff, and I'm just like, this is very clever. I enjoy going along, finding out what he's going to do next, finding out how he's going to get the jury on his side. And the other interesting thing about it is how it all ends. You know, we're going through all of this. There's no mock jury in this one, so that was different because the mock jury were not allowed to sit in the court at all because the judge didn't want them in there. But luckily, the jury talks about it over lunch very, very loudly, and Danny happened to be there listening to the entire conversation and tell them all about it. So, you know, they did find a way around it, but it was a bit different that it wasn't just, oh yeah, there's a mock jury sitting in the court and they listen to everything and that's how you figure everything out. But also, like I said, how it ended was very different because we seem to have a plan in place where you've got, you kind of got a court that doesn't really play by the rules. You know, they don't really follow the rules. They don't follow the laws set in place for a jury. So Dr. Bull's like, let's play by our own rules. So he has Cable sort of put a fake tornado warning into the town. Everybody has to go to the shelter. They have this room where apparently the plaintiff and the defendant get to go in together. I don't know what that room is, but anyway. So they go in together and they start talking with a ventilation shaft right above them so everybody can hear what they're saying. And pretty much their client, I forget her name, I'm just going to call her the Angel Girl because that's what everybody was calling her. But she is talking to him about the drug and they just start talking like normal. You know, she starts saying, oh, well, you were pretty close, and he starts complimenting her on her drug, and everybody can hear the fact that clearly she didn't steal from him, she did it herself. And then they go back to the courtroom, and apparently whatever she said won him over because he decides he's not even going to press charges anymore. I wonder if maybe, I didn't really hear quite what they were saying. I heard them sort of complimenting each other. So I wonder if maybe they came to some sort of agreement at the end of the conversation where, like, she goes to work for him or something like that. But he decides to retract the lawsuit. So they won, technically, pretty much, but they didn't actually get the innocent verdict, which is what we've been doing this entire time. It's been case, get the innocent verdict, case, get the innocent verdict. This time it was case, went over the prosecution, and now they just withdraw the lawsuit. And the fact that it's a lawsuit instead of just, well, we actually had a lawsuit in the second one. But I like that fact. I like the fact that it's not always, okay, here's a murder case, here's your client, are they guilty or are they being framed? I like that. You know, it's not always the same thing. It's a bit different every time. They give, the fact that it's a trial show instead of a murder mystery show, it gives a lot of room for them to really work with. There's so many different types of trials you can do. There's so many different clients that you can do. It really makes you wonder what all they're going to do with it. And I'm waiting for the episode where they get a client who looks innocent by all accounts, and then it turns out they're actually guilty. What do you do then? Do you do your best, try to get them innocent, but if all the evidence points to them, that's it? Or do you let your morality win and then you don't support them at all? I wonder what they're going to do in those situations, because at that point it's pretty much saying, if you win, yeah, you've won every case. Well, you haven't lost the case yet, but you just got a guilty client off. But if you lose, well, then you just lost your first case. But I mean, morally speaking, you're in the clean because you didn't get a guilty client off. So I feel like they're going to do that at some point. I feel like they've got a lot of room to work with in these scenarios. So really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed some of the chemistry too between these characters. You've got Dr. Bull and the prosecution lady hooking up a little bit, and apparently they did that before when he went down to Callisto. So it was kind of interesting to see that there. They feel like they have some chemistry, and that's always good to see in a show like this. You don't want your characters to feel like they just don't click, especially the team. I feel like the team works really well together. And ultimately we get to see a bit of Dr. Bull being smarter, one step ahead type thing, because in the scenario he came completely prepared. He had a plan in place. He made the prosecution think, oh, I'm going to call up a bunch of experts to just talk about the drug. And in fact, it was all for the fact that he knew she was going to steal his notes. And so it was just to trip her up and make her think, oh, they're going to call experts. So I enjoyed that. And I like the fact that it was a bit different. He didn't have to go the 100% legal route because he knew they weren't going to go the 100% legal route. So a lot of interesting twists and turns in this case. I love how it ended. I love the setup that they've got for this show. It feels like they're going fairly strong. It's the 4th episode, and I feel like this is a good show. You generally get a sense of how good a show is going to be in the first 5 or 6 episodes. If there are no good episodes in this first 5 or 6, most of the time it's probably not going to be a good show. At least if you don't enjoy them, you probably won't like the show. But if you find an episode in the first 5 or 6 that you're just like, okay, yeah, I enjoyed that. That was a good episode. Most of the time it shows that this show does have something going. And so far, I would say the first one was maybe a bit slow, maybe a little bit cliche. But I feel like the second one was better. The third one was even better. And I feel like this one just sort of brought it home for me. Like I feel like I'm going to be able to watch this show and really enjoy it. So maybe it's just me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What do you like and dislike about the show? What do you want to see them do? Maybe what do you want to keep seeing them doing? Let me know. We can talk about, discuss all that good stuff. Leave a like and subscribe for future Bull reviews, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace out.